This is a Tape Deck podcast.
Hello, and welcome back to We'll Run For. This is your host, Tom, and with me as always are Aaron.
Hello.
Michael.
Hello.
And Diana.
Hey, hey.
In full disclosure, we are trying something new. We had some technical difficulties, and Michael, as always, has saved us. So
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
It's either a win or a there's no episode. So
Yeah.
if you're hearing this, we figured it out. If not, who knows?
Yeah, Tom and I are over here like Zoolander and what's Owen Wilson's character? What's his name?
Oh, I don't even know, actually.
okay.
Banging on the computer. The files are in the computer. That's basically us right now. It's so bad. We're no help. We are no help at all.
Hansel,
that's right. Because Hansel's so hot right now.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my god!
Oh,
Wow.
God. How's your
Yeah,
week been, guys?
I mean, what have we? I don't even know.
We
I feel like it's been forever
yeah.
since we recorded, but then
What
I
did we
also
do?
feel like it's been forever
Oh,
since we went to
we've-
the Grand Canyon.
yeah, we've done
Everything
Orange
feels-
Theory since we recorded.
Yeah, everything
Yeah.
feels like I don't know. Time's moving in a weird space now. Now for me.
Are we in our second week of Orange Theory or
No,
our
this
third?
is our third week.
Oh,
but
wow.
we hadn't
Jeez.
started
Yeah.
when we recorded last because I think we recorded on a Monday and we were starting on that Tuesday.
Yes.
So yeah, we've joined the cult we mentioned, and the first week was rough. I mean,
Yeah.
like everything hurt. I had to skip a run because I couldn't move.
Yeah. Well, because you were
it was-
moving things that you're not used to moving.
Oh
It
my
gets
gosh.
easier. And
It's
you guys
a
are
little-
blowing yourselves out every single class now.
It's a little bit easier this week, but even at that, like we did these things with the ab roller thing. Like I don't know, it's got
The cart.
the cart.
Yeah.
Where it's
Oh, yeah.
got 3 wheels on it, and like what is happening?
Yeah, I
Why
went
am I
this
doing
morning. I
this?
didn't think it was that bad.
No, it wasn't too
yeah.
bad. And I had a perfect pyramid. Diana has told me.
I've never
that-
seen a better pyramid than that pyramid. Mine looked like trash this morning.
I'm happy to report that I cannot relate in any fashion to this discussion because I will not be joining Orange Theory.
Oh gosh. But no, it's been good. I feel like super motivated for the first time in a long
Yeah,
time.
I agree.
Like I feel like even though obviously I haven't seen any real benefits from it like per se because it's only been 2.5 weeks and 5 classes, I just feel like it's boosted my morale a little. Like I feel like I know that I'm actually getting some strength training in, and the fact that my muscles were hurting in the long run is going to be the benefit, and I'm excited to see kind of what it does.
Yeah, and I'm almost thinking for me, Orange Theory is great and I love it. But honestly, I think it's like going back to a routine that was more than just running. Because I was
Yeah.
doing nothing
Yeah.
but running like every
Yeah.
single day. So,
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, I think it's kind of forcing me back into like that mentality of doing other stuff. I mean, I even was so motivated last week after the first week. I was like, I'm going to do a speed workout, and I conned my friends into doing a speed workout with me.
Yeah.
yeah,
We
that's
did
awesome.
some 400s and stuff. So like I just feel like it's kind of got me back into a place where I feel like I don't know, like I'm ready for whatever's next because I'm actually out there doing more than just running.
Yeah, we've trimmed our mileage back a little bit.
Yeah.
We're not being as aggressive with our mileage.
And we'll get into it, but I honestly don't think we have to be as aggressive because seeing the benefits of other people that we know,
Yeah.
Diana, doing Orange Theory and not getting in as much running, but still out there like seriously killing it.
Yeah, I think my legs are
sort of
strong.
puts that into perspective. Well, I think it also helped put that into perspective for me watching you in July in the heat
Yeah.
You're spoiling the rest of the show.
doing things out
Yeah.
there.
Killing it. But yeah, I've been going at least 3 times a week, sometimes 4. Some weeks I've done
Wow.
more. I pay for the unlimited, so I like try and get every bit of money out of it as I can.
Mhm.
It's not really that I want to go that often, although sometimes I do. I went while I was in Arizona, which is kind of rough because it's about a mile from the hotel, so I walk and I go to the 5 a.m. class. So
Ooh.
I stay on East Coast time. I wake up at about 4:15, and then I leave the hotel like 4:30-ish. I usually don't run. I don't know why. I guess I couldn't run. I usually just walk. I put my headphones in and I walk.
Yeah.
So that's good because it gives me like 2 extra miles walking to and from, but it's a struggle.
Yeah.
No, that was awesome that we saw you out there and then you storied it all 3 days. It was great.
Oh my gosh. I was like
We
telling
got a lot of
everybody at
Diana
work.
action. I love it.
I was like, I don't story enough and I get yelled at, so.
It was great. We loved it. I don't actually story as much as I used to. I don't know.
think
We're not
We've been running as like much as much.
consistently.
Like today we were gonna run after Orange Theory, but
Ooh.
like there's heavy smoke in the area from the wildfires
Yeah, I
out
don't-
west.
Yeah.
And the air
Yeah.
quality's really, really bad. So we got on you got on the treadmill and I got on a bike for like 10 minutes after class and we were both so bored to death.
You know,
We were
because
like,
when
"Ugh."
and I like the because I like the treadmill, but I didn't have any headphones with me because we like literally just came home from Orange Theory and went right to the gym, so I didn't have headphones on me, and I didn't have like an iPad or something to watch like a show, so I didn't even have music or a show or anything.
No,
and, like,
you can't. You
I
have to have
can't just
something.
run on a treadmill. I
Yeah,
like
it was-
running on the treadmill. I have no problem with it, but yeah, I need something in order to make myself continue doing it. So we didn't really get as far as we had planned. Because
Yeah.
I was gonna try and get a 5K in, and I was like, I'm not doing a 5K without headphones.
No, absolutely not.
This is so dumb.
It was so bad, yeah.
Yeah, that's
What?
crazy.
And I learned to start listening to the coaches at Orange Theory
No.
after I got
Stay
shamed.
at the green.
After he got shamed by Diana.
Well, it is funny because I noticed like some coaches really emphasize the green and some don't. Like when I was in Phoenix, like the coaches hardly ever mentioned it. And like today when I was there, our coach was like, "Okay, it's a race. Who's going to get back into green first?" So
Oh.
like that was kind of motivating, but it like really was like, "Oh, slow down a little bit. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Because I think when she said that, I was at like a 90 and I was like, well, I'm never going to get back in the green before I have to go again. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I'm doing something wrong. She's
I
like, an
will say-
84 orange is the same as a 90 orange. Just remember that.
I have to say that my heart rate does actually come down pretty quickly, but it
Yeah.
also shoots up ridiculously fast. Like I can get myself back to the green, but it like immediately like my heart rate just fluctuates so much.
Yeah, mine goes up pretty
And
quickly.
I actually used my Garmin today or the last week, and so to check out the difference between heart rates, and they're pretty close.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're like
that's
within
awesome.
1 beat per minute of each other. So now I know accuracy wise, kind of like
Mhm.
Garmin's actually kind of accurate.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome. I'm jealous that
thing
your
is-
heart rate goes up so fast because mine does not. Like my heart rate goes back down almost immediately, but it takes me forever to build it up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine jumps pretty quick.
Yeah. Tom's like, I'm so bored by this conversation. I have nothing to say.
For those
Why-
keeping score at home, I haven't spoken in 3 minutes.
So Tom, what have you been up to since you're not on the Orange Theory
We'll
squad?
we'll get into it when we get into why we're running, but I'm going to take this opportunity to segue and ask Michael if we have any 5-star reviews.
I don't think we do. Not that I saw, unless there were some international ones. But
No, but did we ever figure out who Cool Whip
no,
was?
we did not. Still a mystery.
Still a mystery.
Whip.
Hey, Cool Whip. You should
Still a mystery.
tag us on Instagram or Facebook and let us know who you
Yeah.
are.
And remember, your reviews get 5 miles and a task. Also, just share the show with your friends, with other communities you're in, whatever.
Yeah.
That's probably the best way, just sharing it with people that you know or, you talk to online or whatever.
It's been a fun week in Sparkle Squad because we had
Yes.
the Inside the Runner studio with the
Yay!
squad ladies
They were
this
so
week.
good.
So, yeah, they really were. I re-listened again today. It was a great episode.
I will say that the Sparkle Squad Inside the Runner Studio and then the Grand Canyon recap got a lot of reception. Got great reception. Like, people really enjoyed those stories.
Yeah, I mean, I don't listen to the show, and I listen to the Grand Canyon one.
At least she's
You
consistent.
gotta re-listen to it.
I
Gotta
know,
re-listen to that
like-
story.
And I laughed really hard while I was listening to it.
Oh, my
We
God.
laughed about it too because we were like talking about it. We were like, "Oh yeah, we both listened again," and we're like going through our favorite Diana moments.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
I
someone
think that's-
messaged me and was like, "You should have named the episode "Isn't the Grand Canyon Big?"
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean,
It was a fair
would,
point.
I
It
would
was.
say that was the majority of the reactions I got. I got one from Steph McGuire that
Yeah.
said that was like Diana's reaction was the best. I know, like Anna runs a coffee was like it was worth waiting to like tell that story
Oh, my God.
just to hear Diana react to it. So yeah,
I
it was a
feel
lot of great
like-
feedback.
I feel like I wasn't the only one though, because Lisa, another star of Inside the Runner Studio, said to me, she was like, "You were literally saying what I was screaming at my phone listening." She's like, "I
Oh,
was
I sh-
thinking the exact same thing."
I should screenshot all of the messages I got that
Oh my
it was
God.
like we were all Diana. We're listening to this. We are all Diana. I'm like I cannot tell you how many messages and people who I know don't normally listen to this show, but I didn't really tell the story like to even some of my friends. I'm like, you have to listen to the episode, so
Oh,
I made
God.
people listen to it. They were like, seriously, what is wrong with you? Like, Diana's right. Like, what is wrong with you?
Oh, my God.
It was
I
the
w-
best.
I, w- I will say when, I think on Facebook, Lacey commented or something.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the pictures of them. They're exactly who I thought they were going to be. They're just, first, they're obviously the nicest people you'll ever meet in your entire life. But then they look like the nicest people you ever meet in your entire life, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
shout out to Ben and Lacey one more time.
Yes,
yeah, which
for
I thought was
saving the day.
so funny because we were like, "Thank you." I was like, "Thank you for not murdering us," and she was like, that thought kind of crossed our mind too. That maybe we were picking up some people." So in both directions, people on their end were probably like, "Who the hell are you picking up on the side of the road and why?"
Yeah,
Love
again, none of you watch enough true crime. Like, that's how it all starts.
Oh gosh.
All right.
Oh, man.
So what are we running for this week?
Oh, I guess I'll go. I'm running for loneliness. I'll be doing lonelies.
Wow.
I'll be doing lonely solo runs this week. Out in the woods,
It's so
all by
ridiculous.
myself.
He's so
All
sad.
by myself.
So
it's so
sad.
funny because you guys like do almost all of your runs together, and Tom and I do almost none of our runs together. Like we hardly
we
ever
haven't-
run together.
We haven't actually been running together as much because I've been running with some girls in the morning.
On the weekends, we
again.
still
yeah,
do,
on the
though.
weekends we've
Our
been
long stuff, yeah.
we've been still running together, but the weekdays we've been mostly split now.
Just because of schedules, it's
Yeah.
just been hard, yeah.
Yeah, and so but this weekend, as he pointed out, he's going to be lonely because I am going on a girls' trip to Disney
Whoop whoop.
and going to indulge myself in some food and wine. And that's what I'm running for, is so that I can eat as much food as I want and drink as many drinks as I want. And I'm probably not actually going to run enough to warrant that, but I don't care.
But you'll get plenty of steps. It's fine.
So we'll talk about it in a few moments. But we did that half marathon in Frederick, and I've done nothing since. Like, and we're going on 10 days now.
Yeah, that's a long
Oh
time.
yeah,
It's
it was
bad.
a while ago.
Oh wait, that was 10 days ago?
It
Yeah.
was last Sunday or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
because
because
it
we
wasn't this week.
recorded. Yeah, we recorded
That's right.
before.
Yeah.
That's
God.
kind of what happened with the Grand Canyon. Yeah, that's kind of what happened with the Grand Canyon. There was like a long space in between.
I'm just a slob. We have our running group
What
meeting
is a
tomorrow
slob?
night. Me, a slob.
A
You know-
slob?
What? Have you never heard this?
You don't
What?
know the word slob?
Like a schlub? I
You've
don't
never heard
know.
the word slob?
I guess
What is
not.
happening?
I've heard like
What
a,
just
the word
happened here?
schlub.
Have you heard of medallion?
No.
All right. we'll move
I've
on.
heard
We'll
like
move on.
schlub and
I
like.
can't move on.
No, we have to move on.
She can't move
We
on.
cannot go off
She
on a
can't
tangent.
move on.
You broke Diana because you didn't know a common phrase.
I never heard the word slub.
Slob.
Oh, a slob. I thought you said slub. That's the problem. Is I thought you said slub.
It's about the same thing.
Slub. Oh, we can make a new word out of schlub and slob. Make it
I thought
slub.
you said
Okay.
slub,
Okay.
I'm crying. I'm
not
laughing so
slob.
hard.
Not like the word slob. I thought you said slub, like with a
Oh
U.
my god. This is what
Okay.
That
happens.
was the problem.
I haven't laughed this hard recording in a long time.
All right.
I thought so. SLOB, not SLUB.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I'm
actual
good.
word.
Well, that was my point. Was that I thought you said slub? I'm like, what the f is a
Oh
slub?
God,
Look, Aaron, I need you to rein it in. We are professionals.
God, I am dying. Well, here's the thing. I was gonna say I was running for my back attic challenge at Orange Theory, which is over in 2 weeks. So that's mainly why I'm running. But in reality, we actually brought back cotton candy from the Dole plantation, pineapple
Oh.
Ooh.
cotton candy, and I literally just ate the entire tub and did not share. And Tom looked at me when it was empty. So that's what I'm
actually-
running for.
I witnessed this, guys. I witnessed
Yeah, I did too.
that.
Yeah.
It's like, did you eat that whole thing? And he looked so sad
did.
and
I ate
defeated.
the whole thing.
Never was there a consideration to be like, maybe I should be like, hey, would you like to try some?
I looked at the back of the container and we paid $8 for it, and then I got really mad. Money didn't matter in Hawaii, apparently.
It did not.
Oh my god.
Oh gosh.
Money didn't matter.
God. So
Oh,
that's what
God.
I'm running for. Is my Dole cotton candy.
Is to not be a
Which-
slub.
Not be a slub.
Yeah.
No slubs.
It just tasted like cotton candy. It didn't taste like anything.
We ain't got no slubs. Slubs are
Slubs are a guy that
God.
can't get no love from me.
from me. Hanging out on the passenger side.
Your best friend
Try-
tried.
trying to holler at me.
God.
I cannot.
No slubs. If this episode isn't called No Slubs, I'm walking. I'm striking.
Oh my
I'm
god.
taking my talents.
That was one of the hardest. I haven't laughed that hard in a long time.
Oh gosh, guys, this is what you get. This is the quality content because this is just how the night's going.
No slubs.
Oh,
Hey,
God.
Michael,
What?
do we have any goal slubs?
Gold.
What?
Slub getters.
Slub getters.
getters.
We're changing the name.
Any goal getters?
Oh.
How's our goal getters doing?
Let's take a listen.
And now, it's time for our Will Run 4 Goal Getters. Congrats on making your goals, you getters. Oh, you runs the shit.
All right, our slub getters. We have Jennifer Cook. She's no slub. Her goal is to get her nutrition back on track,
Oh, me too, girl.
like it was from the school year. Summer has been hard.
Mm.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. Jessica Garand, get back to consistent running of weights and strength training for Space Coast Half, South
Whoop,
Course,
whoop.
Gasparilla's Stella Solstice Challenge, and Dreaming of Shamrock, but realistically, the Disney Springtime Surprise. And her main goal, of course, is the Purple Porta Potty.
Oh my God.
which I've been keeping an eye out for.
So hilarious. Yeah, we were in
Yeah.
Philly the day she posted that. We're like, any
There's
got to
be a purple one around here
porta
somewhere.
potties?
Yeah.
Well, Ren Ohana pointed out that at Bird in Hand, there was some purple porta potties. So there was a couple pictures with a purple porta potty behind them. But the thing is, Jessica has to find this herself.
Good luck.
So she's got to drive to Bird in Hand this year
It's on. Yeah, there you go.
to
only
get that
like-
purple porta potty.
It's only like
Oh,
a
God.
15-hour drive to go find the porta potty. No big deal.
And I mean, technically, she could do the springtime surprise and Shamrock.
This is true.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because they are different weekends.
they are.
Yeah.
That is true.
Don't be a slacker. Don't be a slub.
Don't be
No
a slub.
slubs.
This Phoenix runs. Longest term goal is to drop a much needed 35 pounds before my 35th birthday. This week's goal is to not miss any weekday runs. It's been challenging getting them in between family visits and after work obligations.
Yep.
Totally get that.
Yeah, the world is
perfect-
open.
Yes. Perfectly imperfect Maria, running a 4-miler on Saturday and just hoping to do it under the time limit. Also, I'm on day 40 of my run walk streak, and the goal is to make it to a year like last time. But this time I want to keep it going after the year. That's actually a
Yas,
great one.
queen.
Yeah. Shout out to my co-host Michaela, who I talked to last night on Chatterbox Podcast. She just finished the Rim to Rim cast, and it's just her thing is just she's just happy we're both alive.
Yes. We
Aw.
chatted with her about it last night,
Yeah.
and we made her go listen. We're like, if you want to hear the tale, you have to go listen to it. It's much
Tell-
better. It is. It's much better with the Diana reaction.
Yeah,
It just is.
it adds way more to it. Yeah. Otherwise, it just sounds like two dumbasses getting stuck in the Grand Canyon nearly.
Oh, gosh.
Jennifer Tower, drink more water, help her stay on track. She got a 64-ounce water bottle. Now she's one of those people lugging a big jug of water around. So far, so
Jennifer,
good.
Jennifer, keep it up because I was going to be one of those people, and it lasted until maybe the middle of February. So the amount
she
of
posted?
pee I was producing was obscene. Like I couldn't physically drink that much water.
It's a lot of water. It's tough.
Jennifer Taylor actually texted me. She has another goal.
Ooh, what's that?
What is it?
Her and Bill Taylor are going to go to the bottom of the canyon
Oh, awesome.
and they're going to do the Diana Tom version.
Oh.
The smart version.
Camp at Phantom Ranch and head back up because they listened to the podcast and Bill was like, "Oh, maybe we could do that." So Jennifer was really texting me to curse me out, but
Oh, I want to do it. Like, if it's over a
It's-
couple of days, I think I could do it if I trained for it. When do they want to do it? Next year's not good for us.
I don't know. Make arrangements, guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
The
gosh.
smart way.
That's a 2023-ish, maybe.
Yeah.
Next
There
Yeah,
you
but
go.
so she said that it is actually might be on their list that we've inspired them.
I would
Yeah,
say it's
that's awesome.
very doable. Like as a 2-day thing where
Yeah,
you hike
absolutely.
down and hike back up.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
definitely
That's what I
very
told her.
doable.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Jennifer Rustine Lempron. Keep the mileage up to about 100 plus monthly, despite the heat, through the rest of July and August. Hopefully that will make an abundance of delicious. Hopefully that will make up for the abundance of delicious ice cream trips. Well, it is summer, so yeah.
Jennifer, I just found out. Oh, we have a lot of Jennifers this week.
Mhm.
Is the Jen of the Kathy Kathy
Oh.
crowd, like the double. So
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
found that out
Double.
because she also, the double Kathy, double Jen,
Oh.
BRFs, best running
Running
friends.
Yeah.
And they're back to trying to get me to do Smutty Nose in October, but I can't, guys. It's
Oh,
not
God,
on
we
a
have
good weekend.
So many races. It's
I know.
it's
We're
crazy.
so. But hit me up for the spring or
Yeah.
fall of 2022, right? What year are we in?
Yeah, we're in
2022.
21, yeah.
We'll find something. I'll come up and visit you guys. I'll
Yeah.
come run with you. We'll
And I
make
would
it a
do
group
Smutty
trip.
Nose. I just can't do it
I'm
this
like-
year.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we'll make a girls trip out of it and make Diana come up with us.
Yeah, buddy.
Sorry, Michael and Tom.
Oh no, it's fine. We have
Leaving you behind.
Lynn's daughter Julia. She did her 1.2 mile swim in the ocean. It was rough and choppy that day, but she came in second in her age group. And we have one more. I have.
Ooh.
It's Karate's daughter, Maeve. She went for her black belt. She did her, what did I do? What's that thing called?
I don't know. She looked bad ass. Am I allowed to say that? In her picture, though.
Yeah, she did her, what did I call it?
Is it just a belt test?
She did her belt test. That's what it's called. Look
That's
at
what
that.
it's called.
Yeah. So she's waiting to hear back if she got her black belt, but she did really well.
Oh,
so,
nice. Yeah, she looked.
4 fingers for Maeve.
That's awesome.
Karate will get that. That's not middle fingers for those of you who don't know. We're not giving Maeve middle fingers. This is 4 fingers for Maeve.
Well, I have a listener text that I got from my friend Sherry. She said, I just listened to the podcast about the Grand Canyon. Wow, do I love that area. I need to get back. The water is about 50 degrees, and it's what we bathe in while whitewater rafting, so to really get out of the heat, you have to dunk your whole head in. It changes your perception, warped by heat fatigue. Takes your breath away, though. You and Diana could definitely walk down to the Phantom Ranch. It's downhill, so kind of killer on your quads and knees, and make sure you trim your toenails before going. She said she's only been to the ranch once. She didn't stay overnight, just hung out there for a couple hours. Thanks for bringing back some of her good memories.
Aww.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's great.
Yeah. The trim your toenails is great advice. I did that. I was fine. But your friend Shani,
Shandy,
she had
yeah.
some wicked
Toenail issues,
trail toe,
yeah.
as she likes to call it, where her entire large toenail turned black.
Yep.
From hitting the front.
I think ours are so beat up that it really didn't affect us.
Probably true.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to be a goal-getter, don't forget, keep an eye out for the goal-getter post. Sorry, it was a lazy one this week. I didn't do any voices or anything. I was recording another podcast and then got really tired because it was really late. So it was a simple post. But keep an eye out for that, or you can email us at willrunforpodcast@gmail.com.
You said that so slowly.
Sorry.
So slowly.
Yeah.
All right. So, Diana, are you a goal getter this week?
Oh my
or
gosh.
a schlub getter?
A schlub getter. Oh my gosh. I had not even planned for. So, Tom and I did the Frederick Half Marathon, and I actually PR'd, which is
I am so proud of you.
bonkers. Also,
in
July.
You PR'd
July.
a half in July.
With some hills.
it was pretty hilly. It's not Baltimore hilly, but there's a couple of big hills at the end. And I kind of, hang on, I have to watch my language. I don't even know the word.
Punked out?
Punked out at the end. I couldn't even think of literally another word.
You wanted to use the B word out.
And because the hill was so big, so it was like the whole, mile 11-ish is just basically uphill. But it's really, really pretty. And I was really nervous going into that race because I even said, I think on my This Is How You Started Running episode, I mentioned this race is the worst race I've ever done.
Oh, yeah.
I think you've talked about it a couple times.
Yeah, because I think it was just mental and like what was going on. Because literally while I was running it, it was like a brand new race. Like we were going through areas and I was like, oh, was this their last time? I don't remember any of this. None of this
the
is
same
familiar. It was the exact same course.
Oh,
Like
okay.
nothing
Oh, God.
changed. Nothing changed. It did start super early, so it started at 6:30. So it wasn't super hot and it was overcast. It was a little sticky. But honestly, I almost didn't get a PR. When I got through mile 6, I was thinking, oh, I might get a PR. But for some reason in my head, I thought it was like 6 minutes slower. Or 6 minutes faster. I'm sorry, 6 minutes faster.
Oh, okay.
And then I
Yeah.
reached a point and I was like, I'm not going to get this. It's too hot. And then when I crossed the finish line, I was like, well, maybe I should look. And I got a PR by like, I don't know, it wasn't much, but it was still like a minute and a half. So it counts.
Oh, it 100% counts.
Yeah.
And to do it in July, when I saw that.
In a summer race,
I mean,
is like.
That's insane. And this just brings me back to Orange Theory. I know you said that you felt like you were wickedly undertrained, and I don't know why I keep using the word wicked, but I just
know,
do.
Did we move to Boston?
Apparently, because I was talking about the Boston girls. I don't really know. But like, just I think that all that Orange Theory and doing those hills and doing the repeats and doing the intervals and like strength training and like it's just incredible what like. There's entire plans based off of run less, like run faster.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
think
mostly strength training.
I think it was partly the strength training and the cross training that was going on. But then I was kind of looking back at all my half marathons, and at some point I just stopped running them to actually run them. And I was like looking at all my races since my actual PR. And some of them I would try to run for speed and not make it. I mean, maybe 2 of the 10 or 15 that came after that. But when I'm running halves now, I'm not running for a PR or running
it's
for
a lot of
a
fun
goal.
running.
It's a lot of fun running. Or I'm running with like Tom and trying to get him to a PR or, you know, somebody else, something like that. So it was kind of the first run that I've done in a long time. It's the first half marathon I've done by myself in a really long time where I just put my headphones in and just went. Like, yeah. So it was awesome. I'm sure there's other stuff to talk about, but Tom also ran the race and he said he got a PR, but it's not, I think, on paper PR.
From when I started my watch, I looked at it at 13.1 miles, and I was definitely a PR for the distance.
It was a watch PR.
It was a watch PR.
Okay.
Definitely not, it's not official. Definitely not official in the race, but...
Well, considering you said you were wildly undertrained also, like, this is
all I wanted to do was finish.
Yeah, that was your goal.
That was it, and not feel terrible. And... just like Diana, put my headphones in. We kind of split up and just ran the race. And I
feel like we went a little backwards.
I know we started at the end, but the other thing is I thought that maybe I could have gotten a PR, like maybe it happened. And usually, like right after a race, you get a text message with your official race results.
Oh, yeah.
And most of the time, I literally don't care. And this is the one time I cared, and they didn't send out results for like 4 hours after the race. And I was like, all I want to know is my official time.
Right.
Oh, my God. Of course, right?
So I don't know, Tom, about your official results, if how far they were away from your watch results. Mine was pretty close.
Mine was 2 minutes slower than my Shamrock PR.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's pretty good.
But I felt really
Shamrock's
good.
In spring,
Yeah, I was just gonna say, considering the additional heat and the
and
Shamrock's super flat.
Yeah.
I feel like you were in a better place than you gave yourself credit for.
Yeah, no, I agree, and so that gave me a lot of hope for the fall races that we have coming up, like the we have a 12-miler, and then we have the Baltimore half, and we have Philly half, and we have Space Coast, which is going to be a fun run. But like at least Philly and Baltimore, like if I really put in training, I feel like I could definitely improve on my PR, and that's
for sure.
you know, because it was I was dreading Frederick, that race.
Yeah, you were freaked out.
But it turned out so much better than I thought. It was really nice to be in another big race like that. I mean, not big by how many people were in the field, but, you know.
It felt like a real race again.
Yep.
Well, yeah, so let's back up a little bit. I feel like we went backwards here.
Yeah.
Did you guys you guys stayed in Frederick the night before?
Yeah, and
Because you guys were drinking a flight, I saw, right?
yeah, so we stopped at, so you could tell we weren't taking it super serious because we were doing flights the night before.
Maybe that's what you should
Maybe
do.
that's what happened. So Tom, it's about 40 minutes from us, which isn't super far. We probably could have gone in the morning, but Tom wanted to stay at the hotel overnight, which was both a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah, kind of a weird situation. Well, we went to a brewery, had a couple flights, got food, and went to our hotel. When we got to our hotel, the front desk manager, I guess the hotel manager, was like, "You guys are the easiest people I've checked in all day." And we're like, "What does that? What does that mean?" Because there was so many different problems that are going on with the hotel. Like, none of the TVs worked. A lot of the rooms weren't turned properly. Like, she was having to deal with a lot.
Oh my gosh.
And we're not jerks. So she was really appreciative of that. But she checked us in. We went up to our room. It wasn't turned. It wasn't ready. It was like...
Yeah, we opened the door and all the sheets were like thrown off the bed. Like, it didn't look like it had been cleaned at all.
Was
it
this
was so
like
weird.
After you guys
God.
had dinner and everything?
Yeah,
So this was
it
late
was
in the day.
It was like
Yeah, okay.
8.
Wow.
And so we go back down
my
and she's
God.
like, "Oh no." We're like, "It's cool. We're not jerks."
It's fine.
And she's like, "I'll move you." So she moved us to another room, but then she ran down the hall to check, and she was like, "Yeah, the TVs don't work." Like, none of the TVs were getting like satellite signal, so like we couldn't watch TV. So we ended up eating dinner and watching like The New Girl on Diana's phone.
I was like, we literally cannot just sit in this room and talk to each other. We've been with each other all day. I was like, I literally have nothing else to say.
Oh my God.
But
it's supposed to be a test of your love.
Yeah.
well,
How did that go?
so we did. I mean, we went to bed. We had 2 queen beds in the room.
And as soon as we walked in, we looked at each other and we're like, are we sleeping in 2 separate beds? And then got really excited about it.
I get that, though. I get that. I like my space, so I get that.
Especially the night before a race, you know?
Yeah.
So that was good. And that's actually something we do a lot of times before a race if we have 2 beds in the room, where like the rest of the trip we'll like sleep in bed together, but like the night before the race we won't.
Yeah, no. I
can get that,
totally
yeah.
get that. Totally
yeah,
get that.
and as a result, we both actually slept.
Yep.
And
Yep.
we woke up feeling refreshed, and
Nice.
we got ready, and we threw some ice in a cooler because it was supposed to be really, really, really hot.
Yeah.
We threw ice in a cooler, threw Gatorades in a cooler. We were very prepared for this race that way. But when we got there, like, there was cloud cover the entire race. So it was a bit humid, but it wasn't like beating down on you sun.
Yeah.
Which
and
was
that makes a
something-
huge difference.
Yeah, and again, mid-July, that's something that we were just building up in our heads, like, we're going to have to deal with terrible temperatures, and it's going to zap us, and we're going to have a terrible time.
Yeah, we did have a little issue with traffic getting in. We just weren't early enough. We
Okay.
didn't time it right, so they had already started shutting down some of the roads. So Tom was getting a little freaked because we kept having to like loop around and go around all these weird. And we're not super familiar with the area, so it was just following the GPS, and then the road would be closed, and then we'd follow the
And you
GPS,
guys-
and then the roads would be closed.
I assume this is like the 10 miler where there's not an actual expo. You guys just got your bibs at the night before someplace.
I don't know if there was an expo. Tom went and picked our bibs up earlier in the week, right?
Okay.
So Corrigan Sports puts on this race, and there was an expo. The race was a Sunday morning. There was an expo Saturday afternoon where you could get your bib and go to an expo,
Okay.
like a kind of a pared down expo. But Corrigan Sports is also headquartered really close to where we live.
Oh, okay.
And offered packet pickup kind of in the middle of the week. So we already had our bibs.
Okay.
There's
I was
like
just curious what an expo in post pandemic, or I don't know, are we mid pandemic still? I don't even know what we are anymore.
I don't know.
Whatever
what you call
times
it.
we are in, I was wondering what they might be like.
Yeah. So yeah, we got there. I don't know, 10, 15 minutes before like the go happened, and that freaks Tom out. So
Wow, that's early.
Oh. Well, for Michael, we've had some.
you
We-
should have. You can't be around Tom when you're getting
my
there
gosh.
10 minutes before the gun goes. Like,
Absolutely.
Michael has
not.
made me
He-
very nervous though a few times.
We've started races after they've
Oh my god,
started.
that was a horrible experience because that was my PR goal race, and we rolled up, and the race is starting, and we're still in line for the porta potty because we had just gotten there, and it was very stressful. So Tom, I can feel you.
yeah, that was
Don't
also
do
part
it.
of the problem.
Don't do it.
I had to pee or PRP. I think it was a PRP because I hadn't gone in the morning.
Oh my
So
gosh.
that was stressful. I was like, I have to go. And we ran into Donna, and I just yelled at her, I have to go to the bathroom, and then ran.
Oh my gosh. So, have you guys listened to Running on Tap's recap?
The
Yes.
attractive white couple that
The
podcasts
attractive-
about
Oh
running.
my God.
The
We did see our
attractive white-
friends.
I
We
know.
saw 'em.
And they had some passionate, or Kyle had some passionate
He had,
words about the porta potty
Some
etiquette.
passionate porta potty takes.
Oh, we were there.
Did you
I
run
guess,
into
late enough.
any?
We were there late enough where I
porta-potty
didn't
problems?
experience any of it. I was in a 3-person line, maybe.
No, it's
Oh, wow.
it's that thing where people are lined up at the porta potties for the first 3 porta potties, and then the lines kind of go away. So if you walk past them, you go to a further down porta potty. There's no line, and then people start realizing that they're stupid and sitting in line, and then
Yeah.
they get mad at you because they've been waiting longer because
Yeah.
they just didn't turn their head to the left.
And all you gotta do is just line up for other ones. That's all.
Yeah.
There's that's why there's a whole row of them.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I took us on a tangent there, but I just you mentioned porta potties, and it reminded me of that conversation
yeah.
and their recap.
Yeah. Oh my
So-
god.
So, no, I didn't have a bad experience other than some old white man calling me honey in line. Other than
Jesus.
that, fine.
That's fine. So we got our selfie with Donna.
Yes, of course,
Yes,
you
I
have
saw
to.
that.
And they were gonna do a waved start, but they kind of they moved away from that. So there was pacing groups or pacers, and you would seed yourself where you thought your pace was.
Okay.
And it was just when they said go, everyone went.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, and we were packed, and there was no social distance, and it was like, like the beginning of Shamrock where everyone's just there.
Yeah. Oh,
It was
yeah.
exactly like
Yeah.
that. Way less people. What numbers did we say we had?
1500.
15.
Well, I said because I looked this up because again, Running on Tap was talking about how it seemed like while it was a bigger race, it didn't seem like there was a ton of people, and in post pandemic, did they cut the numbers, or would you pay extra to keep these races small? They were having that conversation. I was curious how much smaller this was, so I looked up 2019. This had I think it was 34 or 3,500 ish. It was like 3454 or something like that, and you guys had 1351 finishers.
Oh, wow.
So, definitely less than half.
I like a bigger race because I'm slow, and if there's more people, I'm less likely to be in the very, very back. I'm more likely to be in the middle.
Yeah.
yes, that's where I live. I will say, and I was thinking about it, this might be one of my favorite courses of any half I've run. And you could take Disney out of there. Take Wine and Dine, or
I don't know. That West Hill is a
it is. It is, but
it's scenic. Your
You
pictures
run
were
through-
really nice.
you run through downtown Frederick. It's really cute. You run past parks. You run through all these really cute old school historic neighborhoods. It's adorable.
Yeah, the
Yeah, you
houses you took pictures of were adorable.
Yeah, they are just really cute. And you also run on the Hood College campus, so you run up to the big academic buildings and stuff like that. That was really pretty.
And you ended on a racetrack?
You end up
Oh my
you
God.
end at the Frederick County Fairgrounds, which it's a dirt horse racetrack.
Okay.
And that also contributed to me almost not having a PR because I got on that and I was like, no. And I walked way more than I should have. Because it was like all uneven and it was like gravelly and I probably just should have ran the whole thing because it wasn't that far. It was probably less than a quarter of a mile, like a 15th of a mile, and I walked almost all of it.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's funny.
So,
yeah, I mean...
And for some reason in my head, and this is how loopy I must have been and how miserable I must have been. For some reason in my brain, I thought we ended on like a racetrack at like a high school. Like that's what I pictured ending on. Like I
Not a
have
horse track.
Not a
no
horse track.
memory of this race at all from the last time I did it, which really makes me think something like was like mentally, physically wrong.
Did you
with me.
black out? Like what
I
happened?
think
Did you
I
black
must
out?
have. I don't know what happened. I was so miserable. I was
Oh, my
like
God.
crying, and I hit the wall at like mile 4.5. Like,
Oh,
I
that's the
like,
worst. Yeah, that's really bad.
It was
Yeah.
awful.
That
It was
that's
awful.
Yeah, yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, just some other things about the race. There was like Frederick comes out for this race.
Mhm.
There people were like setting up like tents and like they were having breakfast out on their
Yeah, that was cute.
their
that's
porches and you know cheering you on, and there was a beer tent.
Oh,
Somebody
nice.
set up a beer tent with little Dixie cups full of beer. We're still definitely in COVID, you know, whatever. But like, I went right up and I got some beer from this person.
And you can tell I was in the zone because I didn't even notice. Tom was like, "Did you see the beer tent?" I was like, "Well, I saw people with tents." Like I was like, "When have I ever missed a beer tent?"
Oh, that's funny.
But no, it felt like Shamrock. It felt like Flying Pig. It felt like, you know, much smaller, but
Yeah.
that was the experience. And I didn't want to die the entire time. Like I
Well, that's-
wasn't.
yeah, I mean,
I
that's-
didn't
that
feel
says
terrible. At the end of the race, I think we were both very sore, and that's when we saw Kyle and Jacqueline from Running on Tapped, who were they're the nicest people because they're both faster, probably by about an hour, and they're still there hanging out, you know, just enjoying the post-race festivities. And we were chatting. We took a selfie with them, and then me and Diana went and passed out in the grass because we had to stretch or we wouldn't have made it.
Well, I was getting on a plane later that night,
Oh,
so
that's
I
right.
like made us like stretch. I was like, "We cannot leave this field until I stretch."
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna die on the plane. And then I wore compression pants on the plane, like compression leggings.
How was the post-race festivities?
We were one of the last. I actually waited at the shoot coming out was huge. So they had all the normal chips and all the goodness after. But I waited in that little area for Tom. So I don't know what it was, if it was more crowded earlier, but by the time we got there, they had a band playing still, which was awesome. They had Harpoon beer, which was great. I got a new check-in, which I was really excited about. They were giving away kiwis and all
Oh,
kinds
yeah.
of fruit and stuff. Like, it was good. It was
The
like,
kiwi
Yeah.
thing is so weird to me. Like, what did they give you a knife? Like, how do you?
they,
like, is it like?
I think they
a
did give you a
full
knife.
kiwi?
Yeah, they did give you a knife. They had like, you know how like they have like vendors at the end. It was like a kiwi vendor that was just giving away kiwis.
Like the watermelon people at
Yeah.
at Marine Corps.
But it's like more, yeah, it was like a brand. It was like a brand of kiwi. I don't know. Not Sunkiss, but it would have been like Sunkiss Kiwi or whatever it was.
Okay.
So it was more advertising.
Yeah, more
than-
sponsorship type thing.
Than
Yeah.
have some kiwi. But it looked like it, if we were there for a little earlier, it could have been a good party. I don't know. We didn't hang out. Donna had to go to work, I think, so she didn't hang out. And then we didn't see, I know our friend Jennifer Hall did it. We didn't see her.
Well, they did the relay together.
Hmm
Yep.
But Jennifer
So-
did the last leg.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. So Donna wouldn't have been at the finish line area, would she? have?
Oh. Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I don't like. Do they bust them back to the finish line?
Yeah, so I think the way that the relay worked is Donna did about 7-8 miles, and then Jen did the rest.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. But that happened to us too, because we did the Charles Street 12 relay one year, and I did the first leg, and it was longer than the second
Yeah.
leg.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, they bust me to the finish line. I actually beat Tom to the finish line on the bus. So I gave him the little ankle or whatever it is, the little thing.
Okay.
And then at the swap out spot, and then got on the bus, and then beat him to the finish line. So I was waiting at the finish line for him. So it could have been the same
Yeah, that's
situation,
cool.
but I don't know. Yeah, so overall it's a good race. I would try it again after being one of those people that said I'd never ever do that race again. I was wrong. It was
God.
me having a bad running day more than the race. Although
More
I'm
than
telling
anything.
you that last hill was so bad. It was
pretty bad.
so bad. And I know we were talking about it, and Jacqueline was saying that she felt so good. She was like flying past people. She was having like a great race day.
Yeah.
And then we just commiserated on how bad it was, the other three of us. It was so bad. It was like almost a mile hill.
God. That's the worst. And then at the end too. Like,
Yeah.
why do they gotta put that at the end? Come on,
Well, I
people.
don't think they built it there.
Well,
They
could have
should've
routed the
sent us
course
the
some
wrong
other
way.
way.
Yeah.
They could have routed it a different,
way.
It is a challenge. It is a challenge.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
so
I don't know, like certain races, right? Like Marine Corps, there's a hill at the end.
Oh, that hill is
Annapolis, there's a hill at the end.
Yeah. There's a
Frederick
super
doesn't.
steep hill at the end of Big Sur, right before the finish at like mile 25. It's like 200 feet straight up, like a crazy angle, but then to the finish is downhill after that. But it like just takes it out of you. I can imagine that was the same thing where it just is like, ugh,
yeah.
and you just want to like quit.
yeah. So
Well,
yeah, it was a
I
good
am
race.
proud of you guys. I can't believe that in a July race that both of you were like, we are so undertrained. We have no idea how we're going to get through this. And Diana PRs and Tom gets a watch PR.
Well,
Yeah.
What is happening there?
and I feel like there was another race where I was like weirdly close to a PR and I didn't know. So like, I don't know, like maybe we should put this up as a poll. Like sometimes I feel like knowing what my PR puts like extra stress on me and then I don't.
Yeah.
But then like if I don't know what it is at all, then I was like this race where I was like, I don't know if I had sped up just a little bit, I would have had a better one. But honestly, if I had decided to walk a little more, I would have missed it and then would have been really irritated.
Oh,
So
God, yeah.
like, if I had missed it by a minute, I was like, when I finished, I was like, I missed that by like a minute. I'm sure I missed it by a minute. So I don't know. Now I'm nervous.
So is the
So
question,
I don't know if like
is knowing better than not knowing?
yeah. I guess if it's like, I don't know, because like if it's a goal PR race, then that's different. But just for like a regular race and you're feeling good,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's
Which
what
is what
happened
this was.
at Rehoboth for me is I wasn't going for a PR. And then as the day progressed, I just felt better and better. And I was doing well and I just kept going. And then I PR'd.
yeah.
Like it wasn't like on purpose by any means. So I don't know. I guess sometimes you mentally, like I feel like PR races sometimes are hard mentally. And
Yeah.
if you can let that kind of go and not be like go into the race like thinking that there's not that pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
So,
can
I
totally
don't
see
know.
that.
So I don't know. Like I don't know if I need to keep it in my head. But again, in my head, I thought my PR was way faster than what it actually was. So there was
Yeah.
also that.
So you're gonna train? You think you're gonna train for a PR for the fall?
I don't know. I still have my goal of running a 5K without stopping, which I am almost there. So I've still kind of been working on that. So that's kind of my big goal. But I don't think I can PR Baltimore. I just don't. I think it's too hard.
Too hilly.
Philly.
But
Philly-
Philly, I might be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to remember that course. The problem with Philly is kind of the crowds and the size streets.
Gotcha.
I guess it depends how many people are in it this year, honestly.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
was just going to say that. I mean, it could be like Frederick where it's a much smaller field. Like, I think that's something that's interesting too, right? Like, so imagine that same race that you guys just did with more than 2,000 extra people on the course.
Yeah, it would have
Like,
been a big difference.
Would it have been a game changer for like weaving in and out and having to like mentally deal with like more people and constantly like trying to pass people and like, would that have changed that? So I guess it'll kind of
Maybe.
depend on, yeah.
It might have.
It'd be
I'm
interesting
almost
to see.
wondering. Yeah, I'm almost wondering if, because we're also doing Charles Street 12 in September, which is always really hot and miserable. So I'll see how I do there, and then maybe make a better judgment about like how I'm going to handle all these races in the fall,
Yeah.
and kind of use that as my easing in point. And I'm just
Yeah,
going to
but Philly-
try. Yeah.
Philly generally could be a good one. There's a couple hills, but over in the Drexel college town, university city area, and then again by Strawberry Mansion, but
Yeah.
nothing like Baltimore.
No.
I mean,
no,
comparatively, it wouldn't be anything like Baltimore.
Yeah. Baltimore's so bad.
Yeah,
It's so bad.
I'm already
Yeah.
planning my outfits for cheering the Philly half.
Woo!
I'm
Oh,
gonna.
sweet.
There's gonna be an inflatable something showing up.
No. Oh,
Mhm.
boy.
Michael's gonna love it.
Oh, boy.
What do you dress up as for a Philly race? Like a pretzel?
Well,
Like a cheesesteak?
we were.
Like a-
My friend Amanda was the inflatable eagle. Eagle.
No.
Eagles.
Yeah.
So she was a big old bird.
Running or cheering?
Cheering. Yeah, cheering.
Oh.
Cheering. I held.
I'm,
held the
I'm thinking
sign.
for me.
Oh, for you. Ben Franklin.
Oh, I could do that.
And I could be the Liberty Bell.
Or Betsy Ross. We'll come up with something.
Who else is famous from Philly? Oh,
I
I
don't
can
know.
be like Will Smith.
You could be Kevin Bacon.
Oh gosh, I love how this conversation made to turn around. You guys got anything
Oh,
else
God.
about Frederick?
No, I would do it again, is all I have to say, I think.
Yeah, me too.
All right, guys. So we're
bringing back a long lost
I was just
segment.
gonna say we're gonna bring back something, and it's funny. The reason why this came up was because on the last episode we mentioned our friend Vanessa
Yeah.
from Beast
Coast
Productions, not
Yes.
Beast Pace. Anyway, she was doing so. Vanessa's ridiculous.
Oh my
so if
God.
you think we're ridiculous, Vanessa did HOTS, which is like the last annual something. I don't remember what it stands for. It's a Laz the guy who created Barkley races. It's a Laz special. He's the guy who created the craw that we're doing. He's nuts. So this one is a race across Georgia that is like every year it changes. So it can be anywhere from like 290 miles to like 350 miles. And you don't find out where you're starting until the day of the start.
Oh my God.
So this year it was.
Why?
So this one was 333 miles. And then 2 weeks late, she had like a 2-week break. And then she went back and did Vol State, which is the race across Tennessee,
500K.
which is a 500K. So it was 314 miles.
So this is her doing it by herself, right? Like
Well,
she's completing these distances by herself as an
Well,
individual.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
Like as
yeah,
an
yeah.
individual, yes, she's doing it like they're walking that many miles, basically. So Vol State she did with with John, who is the
Yeah.
other owner of Beast Coast Productions. And there was a couple other people from New Jersey there as well that kind of are in the same like trail running like community. But yeah, I mean, you by yourself walk that distance. So in what, 4 weeks? In less than 4 weeks, she walked 600 and I can't do math. Like
650
something miles.
Yeah.
I just.
Aaron, get her on our crawl team. What's the matter with you? I'll pay for her admission. We're trying to finish this thing.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so while she was out there doing her 333 one, she sent us a message and was like, "I was thinking about you guys, and I came up with some would you rather's because
Oh yeah, she called us on the way to the canyon is what it was. Yeah.
because when you're walking for 333 miles, why wouldn't you think of the Will Run for podcast?" So she came up with a couple would you rather's.
Love that.
Obviously we might not any of us have a concept of what this would be like, but imagine that you're in the middle of a 333 mile race and you're 120 miles in. I love Diana's face.
So
already.
this is like an alternate, like we're in the multiverse now.
We're in the multiverse.
Like we're in the multiverse now where that would actually happen.
Yes. So you're at 120 miles into your race and your shoes fall apart. So you're now wearing $39 Tevas that you found in a random back alley store that's in the middle of absolutely nowhere. And then they start falling apart. So now you found some random old lady sandals, and that's what you're wearing to continue walking. And you still have like 200 miles to go.
200. There's still 200 miles.
There's still
to
200
go.
miles to go, and then you're in these old lady sandals.
In my old lady sandals? Okay.
Yeah. So you get a call from someone that's dropping out of the race, right? And they have a pair of shoes that are your size, and they're going to leave them for you. But in order to get them, you have to go back. And like you have to go back in the race. Like now you have to backtrack this race and you have to go back 2 miles. So you're
2
adding
miles?
2
Yeah.
miles. You're only going an extra 2 miles, but then you're adding 4 total because you have to go back the 2 miles
And
and then
go to 2 miles.
continue
again.
forward.
Yeah.
But you still have 200 miles. So adding those 4 miles, do you go back, get the shoes, or do you continue forward and hope you're going to see a store that you can buy real shoes at?
You go get the shoes.
Also, here's the thing, Vanessa. Why did the shoes have to change 3 times for that scenario to work?
Because this actually was happening to her.
It actually
like
happened.
this is like
This is
a
something
real
that
life
actually
situation.
happened. Yes.
Okay, so this happened.
Not the part where someone offered you a pair of shoes that was 2
But
miles
the
back.
shoes falling apart.
But the shoes
stuff.
falling apart was actually happening as it was happening to her. And then I think she knows somebody who offered shoes to somebody else. So this is the comedy of errors that was happening out there.
All right. Yeah. My answer: go back and get the shoes. You got 200
Even though you're
miles.
adding,
Yeah.
Yes.
Even
yeah.
100. Because what does 4 matter when you have 200 to go?
That's a good
It,
point.
ju-
Yeah.
it doesn't
Those
matter.
are like funny numbers. Like, let's put this into
Yeah, like a marathon.
like
type
a
distance.
marathon.
so okay,
No.
26 miles, you're at mile 12.
Yeah. Say you would go back a mile,
So you have to go back a mile.
which is a little.
So you're
more,
adding
but,
2 miles.
yeah.
So now you're going to have to do 28 miles,
Yeah.
28.2 miles to finish the race. But then you know that you're comfortably going to have shoes for the next 13 mile or the remainder of it, which
Yeah.
would now be 16 miles that you now, because you're adding. So it's not 14 miles you're going anymore. It's now 16 miles.
You still go back. I don't see any scenario where you don't go back for the shoes.
Where you
Huh?
finish in sandals.
Yeah, because that's going to do more damage to your feet.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I could do it in my Tevas. I could not. Well, like, how are we defining like old lady sandals?
Are they cute?
I don't know. We're
Like-
gonna...
Like my Birkenstocks, or
Yeah,
like,
let's say like.
or like those little like almost. I don't want to say wicker, but like those. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
I know exactly
about.
what you're talking about. We're going to go with those ones.
A nice rattan.
Like, yeah, they're like rattan.
Oh my god,
I don't know if I could go back.
it's hard to go back, but
I don't know if I could go back.
I
Is
know.
giving up an option?
With Vanessa, no.
No, that is the problem.
Yeah,
It's death or finishing. Those
Yeah.
are her 2 options.
Yeah.
All right, this one's a little easier because it doesn't require distances. You're in the middle of a long race, so just imagine it being a marathon then, and you get your foot wet. Your right foot steps in a puddle, and the whole foot is now soaking wet. Do you continue on with one wet foot and one dry foot, or do you now take your left foot and dunk it in the puddle so you have 2 matching wet feet?
Can I go? You continue on.
See, I always
Yeah, I would-
immediately I was like,
I
you
would-
get both feet wet.
Yeah, I said the same.
But we go through water a lot, so I don't know. Maybe it's different for us.
I would just feel like if my one foot is soaking
It would
wet,
throw me off.
it would throw me
Yeah.
off. Like I'd be like, if I have a completely dry foot.
Yeah.
Well, but I think you're doubling your risk of blisters if you get both feet wet. Like if I break my left arm, I'm not gonna break my right arm.
To make it even.
You got to make it even. You got to even it out.
I'm no slub.
You got to balance it out.
Slub.
See,
Diana.
I guess it's different for us because we get our feet wet all the time while we're running. It's not like
yeah, like
unusual.
even this weekend when
Yeah.
one foot got wet, I made sure the other foot got wet.
Yeah, so I mean, it's
Did
not
you
unusual.
really?
Yeah.
I've never done that because I've stepped in puddles and gotten one foot wet while I've been running and not felt the need to get the other one wet. I'm just like, that sucks.
I think it depends on how wet it gets.
Yeah. Like I was going through like a creek crossing.
Yeah.
And so my foot was wet. Like, I mean, it was soaked. So I'm like, all right, well, now I might as well just put the other foot in the creek too.
Yeah, like if one foot's going to be soaked in the water, I'll just put both feet in.
So Diana and Tom both say just carry on.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm starting to see a theme though. I don't want to disparage any crazy ultra trail runners.
but again, is quitting an option? Like, why wouldn't you just stop?
If you're in a marathon, you would just quit if your foot got wet.
I do equate it to, and I think you guys have said this on like a previous pod or something, whereas like if you're afraid to trip or you're afraid to get muddy or afraid of whatever, getting that out of the way early, like just changes the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if you're worried about your foot being wet, if both feet are wet, now whatever. Now it doesn't
Yeah.
matter
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
So I
I
kind of
think
get
that's
the
sort of my attitude about that.
I get the perspective.
Here's the question: is it cold?
No, I mean, it's like at the moment, I mean, we're talking. I mean, she
Like, I
didn't
don't
specify.
want two cold, wet feet. Like,
I
if
can
it
see
was
that.
cold,
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't
I
specify.
would just suffer with one cold, wet foot.
but she was
if
doing
it's
it
not,
in June.
Then maybe you can cool off your feet.
then
at
maybe
least,
I could
yeah.
get
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
of them wet.
She was doing this in June, so I'm gonna go with not cool, and we were doing it in the summertime as in July, so I'm gonna go with not cold.
I mean, I've I've gone in the water in winter. It's
Mm.
you know, I don't know. It doesn't.
I
bother
have
me that
fallen
much.
in the water
You've
in the
fallen
winter.
in the water in
and
wintertime.
That was awful.
Sometimes it's nice to cool your feet off.
No, it was terrible. In March, that time when I fell and like broke my finger practically.
Well, no, that wasn't fun.
All right, so we have our own would you rather.
Okay. Because both of those scenarios were impossible for me.
I went more.
I think I would go. I think my answer though is I would go with one wet foot.
one wet foot. I could see that, especially if you're worried about blistering and stuff. I went more Run Disney related. So, all right, scenario 1. You easily get a proof of time for Corral A, but during the race, you have to stop at every set of porta pots and use one, and none of the ones you use have any toilet paper in them. So you get Corral A, you're easily qualified to get Corral A. You have no worries about balloon ladies, but all your stopping time is going to be taken up by going to porta pots that are going to have no toilet paper in them, and you have to use them. Every single line of them you
Oh my
pass.
god, why? Why? That's a lot of porta potties.
Well, I'm not saying you have to stop at everyone in the row, but if you come along like at an aid
No,
station
I know,
that
like
has
an
porta
actual,
pots,
yeah,
you got to
yeah,
stop.
like an aid
yeah.
station stop.
So in this scenario,
Yeah.
if you stop for characters, are the balloon ladies catching you at that point?
They can, yeah. But you got to figure you're in Corral A. You're at least capable enough to run relatively fast. But you have all the porta pot stops with no toilet paper.
And we're assuming, because it's not fair, because You guys can just stand and shake. Like, it's like a situation when we have to pee.
Yeah, are we assuming that you have to like poop each time?
Yeah, that was my assumption because there's no
Okay.
toilet
Okay,
paper.
you have to poop. So everyone's on equal playing field because
Yeah.
we're pooping.
So you're gonna at least have you can carry toilet paper with you. I'll allow that. So you have to carry a bunch. Scenario 2 is you're placed in the final corral and easily stay ahead of the balloon ladies, but have time to stop for only 2 characters, attractions, or drinks. 2 of any of those things. But also, you develop large blisters under each of your big toenails.
No.
Those are
You
both
have to-
horrible.
Yeah, you have to do
well,
one
that's
or
the whole
other.
point. Is that you have to pick one of the 2 horrible things.
You can either easily be ahead of the balloon ladies and get 2 characters in and have horrible blisters under your big toes, or you can easily be in Corral A, have a lot of time taken up by stopping at every row of porta pots and using it.
But you get no characters.
Let's say you get 5 characters on the first one. Say you
I
have time
pick
for
scenario
5.
A.
Yeah, scenario A. Especially if you're allowing me to carry my own toilet paper.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to carry like an entire roll of toilet paper
That's fine.
and keep it dry.
That's also fine.
Put it in a Ziploc.
Yeah, I mean, if you had not put the blister thing in there, I
All right,
would have
how about
maybe
one blister
I
under
would have,
one
like,
toenail?
But like on top of like the other terribleness things, you're telling me I'm gonna also have 2 blisters,
All right, how about one blister?
or should I just say blisters? You're telling me I'm gonna have blisters.
One blister under one toenail.
Although, honestly, if you have limited toilet paper or no toilet paper, you've got butt cheek crack chafing happening.
Yeah.
So that goes on top of the first one as well.
And also, even if you have toilet paper, if you're wiping your butt 10 times during a race, you're going to be hurting.
I can't imagine pulling my pants down 10 times
10
during
times
a
during
race
a race.
and then having to get them back up. Now that
I
I'm
cannot
actually thinking about this.
Yeah,
There's all that, too.
I cannot
Yeah.
stand. Like, where were we recently? Where I went to the bathroom and I came out and I was so annoyed. Oh, it was like last week. We went to the went to the park.
Oh, we were at the park.
We were at the park, but it was like 100%
it was a
humidity.
million degrees out.
So
yeah.
it was so sweaty and so awful, and I had to go to the bathroom. And so I came out of the bathroom and I was so annoyed because nothing was where it was supposed to be anymore, and I was soaking wet and like everything was uncomfortable, and I
Yeah.
hated every second of it.
Now it's Disney, so imagine
Oh,
doing that
God.
like, say,
All
10
right.
or 12 times.
Yeah, and the pulling the pants up might be the deal breaker, even though I was so confident with my first answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Still number 1.
So number 1.
Because if I was in, I can't even dream. Like, if I was in Corral A,
It's like he's about to break into song just thinking
Like-
about it. Like, you should just see his face. He looks so happy.
dare I dream to fly that high?
Like,
I mean, what was Corral A last time? Like 25 minutes before the final one was let out?
Well, yeah, it was shorter than it normally is.
Yeah.
Because
So, I mean, say you get you only get like 35 minutes. I mean, you have a
last-
lot of stops.
the last
You're
marathon,
having,
they blasted those out because the race started late. So, I mean, the waves were just going rapid fire instead of the normal, like.
A lot of stops that are being eaten up, or a lot of time to stop is being eaten up at the porta pots.
I think you're underestimating how efficiently
You poop?
I'm just saying.
he is an efficient pooper. He's never in there very long.
TMI. Everyone now knows Tom's pooping habits.
You
Tom
literally
poops every
just,
day at 5 p.m.
and I'll tell you what, I love a handicap stall because it's like my own little efficiency apartment. And like, oh, it's amazing. Anywho,
That's funny.
I think after all that, I'm going with option 2, just because of the pulling the wet, sweaty pants back on, and then
Yeah.
it's going to cause chafing. If part of it was I was guaranteed not to chafe, but I still didn't have toilet paper, then I'd
Yeah.
go with option A.
Yeah, but you weren't given the option.
Yeah,
to
you're gonna.
guaranteed
Yeah,
to.
you're gonna have definitely
you're
have
definitely gonna
chafing
have chafing.
issues.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
then
I
I'm
mean,
going with option 2.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
even if you have the toilet paper on your person, like you're wearing a vest.
Yeah, I mean, you have
and
to think
it.
about like pulling down your pants that many times,
Yeah.
everything not going back where it belongs.
It never
Yeah.
goes back where it belongs.
Yeah, rubbing like double places because now it's like
Yeah.
rubbing in a different place than it was. And then on top of that, wiping your butt that many times.
Yeah, it's just gonna be raw.
With all that sweat.
Oh, and how terrible the
Ooh.
paper is there is none
All right.
in the porta pot, so you could carry nice,
I'll take
cushy
2 and 1 blister, please.
You lost me a blister. You 100% lost me a blister.
stuff. I mean, it's only a toenail. You'll just lose it. That's all.
I've never had it's not fair because I've never had a blister under the toenail, so I actually don't know how it feels. A regular blister hurts, but it's like
Oh yeah, it
kind
hurts
of
worse.
it's kind of manageable because you can always stop at an aid station and get like a bandage or something for it if you
Yeah.
need to for.
Yeah.
Under the
Although I don't know
toenail
under
is
toenail.
it's worse because it has the pressure builds up because it like can't.
Yeah, it's harder to
expand.
pop. You
'Cause
can't
it's-
just like
yeah.
take a needle and.
I've had
Pop
them
it.
pop while I was running
Okay, we need
under
to move
the
on.
big toenail.
Yeah.
No one wants.
Oh, when I was
no,
doing
no,
City of
no.
Oaks, Raleigh, the Raleigh Marathon, like the last 2 miles, I was going down the straightaway, and it just popped and gushed all inside my shoe.
All right, I'm out.
Speaking of that,
Ever since I got shoes that fit, I haven't gotten a blister or lost a toenail or anything like that.
So gross.
That's good.
I think that brings us to something good.
Oh, is Michael's toenail to something
Gushing
good?
toenails.
God.
No. God, that's disgusting. Who wants to start us off with something good?
I'll start us off with something good. I'm really excited. They just released a ton of new stuff onto Netflix, and I'm not even talking about Twilight, which has blown up the internet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
People are freaking out, and it's hysterical.
Yeah.
But what your something good is season 2 of Never Have I Ever. I got through a few episodes. I'm really excited to finish. It just makes me laugh. I just love Mindy Kaling. And I don't know, the acting's so great. It's just like a teen drama. So
Yeah,
set your
watched-
expectations.
I watched 3 episodes so far. During my lunch breaks because that's what I've been doing. So I think I'm through 3 episodes. I think I'm in the middle of the 4th episode.
Yeah.
And they're short, easy watches. So
Yep, I love it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of mindless. I can put it on. Although, after I started the first episode, halfway through it, I was like, "Oh, I should have gone back and watched season 1 because it's not super long." So I could remember some of it.
I just said this last night on Chatterbox. I said we were talking about how in the binge world, like sometimes like you watch it and then you forget about it because it's like it took me like less than 2 days to get through for season 1.
I think
and
I got through
watched it.
season 1 in a day.
And
Like-
I watched it when it first came out. I think I found it like at nighttime, and then the next day I finished watching it. But it's like because they're short episodes,
Yeah.
and like it's so bingeable and so easy to watch. And I think I watched it like within the first week it came out, so it's been a year.
Oh man.
So I was like,
Yeah.
crap. Do I even remember what happened?
No, because I remember certain things and I don't remember other things. I'm actually really liking the Disney Plus model that releases one
Yeah.
episode every week. It kind of prevents the binging, but it gives you like that whole week to like talk and theorize and it really stays on your mind. And then I feel like I get more out of it because usually before the new episode comes on, I'll watch the weeks previous, like
Yeah.
before
This
I
is-
do that. So I'm watching it more. Like I'll watch season 1 like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. This is
Getting ready for the new episodes.
literally the conversation we had last night about Disney Plus and HBO Max doing the like one episode, or Apple TV.
It's smart.
Apple-
Yeah.
like
I
doing
think
the
it's
one
smart.
episode, and
Well,
it's
that's what
kind
Hulu
of
always did.
back to that whole thing where you finally like you remember the seasons better because you didn't just sit there and binge it in like a couple hours and then you're done.
And it creates, I think, more buzz and expectation, right? Because, like, think about, like, when Stranger Things came out, right? Like, everyone was super into Stranger Things, and they couldn't wait to watch the new season, and everyone talked about it for 2 days, and then everyone stopped talking about it. Like, now, like, everyone's, like, talking about it and tweeting and sharing and doing everything for, like, weeks
Yeah,
when these
No,
things
I
are launching.
totally
So
agree with
I think
you.
it's smart, like, marketing-wise as well.
Yeah. I don't have a something good because I couldn't think of anything. So
Is it Twilight?
I'm gonna go.
You think I'm joking? That's probably going to be my something good next week because we're going to rewatch them.
Oh, we watched them very recently.
Not long ago. Yeah,
I
during
think
the
it was.
pandemic.
It may have
yeah.
even been Michael something good during one of the.
I think it was at some point. Yeah.
Redonkulous. Like, I forgot how ridiculous they are.
Oh, they're
because
so
we
absurd.
weren't watching it because I wanted to. We were watching it because
I'd never
Michael
seen
wanted
them.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was at the height of lockdowns.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It was. I don't know. I guess you can come back to me.
I have a little song that I like. That's my something good,
A song? Oh, this is new.
and it's not the Don Henley version. I actually like the Atari's version of "Boys of Summer" better,
Yes.
I actually
And
think
I-
it's better too.
and I do
Yeah.
love the Don Henley version. Like I do, but the Atari's version
Yeah,
is way
we've
better.
been on a weird binge of like 90s, 2000s music,
Yeah.
early 2000s music recently. We went on a Weezer binge the other day.
Yeah.
Welcome to Tom's iPod.
Oh, which is actually, it's funny because
Into another.
the Foo came on. Like, there's all this stuff. He's like, you should text Tom that we're listening to all of this because that's who we thought of.
I have a kind of a two-part something good. One is a podcast called the Mickey Dudes Podcast.
Oh yeah.
I got to join them to talk about Run Disney. And so if you like Run Disney, if you like Disney, check out the Mickey Dudes Podcast. I think they have some really good content. And then my other something good is I got to be on what will be the anniversary edition of Games We Grew Up With, where it's focused on video games, where we talk about Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2. So I got to replay Sonic and just chat about nostalgia and everything 90s video games.
Look at Tom turning into Michael and doing other podcasts.
I know. Pouring himself out there.
Yeah.
That's how it happens.
See, look at that.
Did you come up with something good?
Yeah.
You know what's good?
What have we been
A
watching?
new podcast I found called Deplane.
Oh, I already did that as my something good like a
There
couple
you go.
episodes ago.
Oh, yeah,
Guys.
you guys told us we have to watch an episode.
Oh, my
Where can we
God.
find
So-
it? Where can we watch it?
Oh, it's on
Tubi,
Tubi. It's on Tubi.
Tubi.
Yeah.
Follow us along on the journey, and on the next episode, Tom and Diana are going to join us for some
Oh my
problematic
God.
analysis.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
God. Tom, have you ever actually seen an episode of Fantasy Island?
No.
Oh,
I don't think
man.
I've ever watched it. I mean, that seems kind of ridiculous because I know it was a pretty big show when
It
I
was
was
on
growing
like in
up.
the middle of the
I
day.
had never seen it
Yeah,
actually
it was, 'cause
prior
it was
to
probably
us
on
starting
reruns
this.
by then.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on reruns in the middle of the day, I remember.
Yeah. So we released episode 3. Episode 4 comes out whenever Tom and Diana have some time to watch the
Or
episode
we have time. Yeah.
and record with us. We could actually watch it like this and then record right after.
Oh, God.
That's true.
That's
Mhm.
true.
Oh
Because
my
that's
God.
what we do.
Yes.
We watch
Like
it.
Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, we actually watch it and then immediately record because we take notes as
Yeah,
we're
we just
watching
take
it, and
notes
then
and then
we
record.
immediately record so that it's fresh in our minds.
Oh, okay.
So maybe
a
we'll
good
have
idea.
to hop on like this and watch it together.
Oh, the next one's a doozy.
Oh, it's it's the one we handpicked for Diana.
Oh, God.
Looking forward to it.
If we all like reactions,
Oh.
Oh,
so that'll
God.
be my something good. Again, go listen to Deplane. Deplane.
So that's a good indication that we've reached the end of today's podcast. Please like, subscribe, share the pod with friends. We would love for you to review it. Leave a 5-star review. But this is Tom, and for Aaron, Michael, and Diana, I'll say, as the sun sets slowly in the west, we bid you a fond farewell.
I'm always just confused.
I'm just always trying to figure out what it could possibly be from, and like I don't recognize
Yeah, I
that.
don't know that one.
It's from I think it's a famous quote, but it's from the movie True Romance. Christian
Okay.
Slater says it.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go.
God, I haven't seen that
Man,
in a long time.
young Christian Slater.
Yeah.
My
That's how we'll
damn.
end it.
Man, my damn.
Bye, guys.
Bye.